Today we're doing lesson 8.4. We're solving addition and subtraction equations. You can use a calculator, but you must show work. So, using subtraction property equality, if you subtract the same number from both sides of an equation, the two sides will remain equal. So for example, 3 plus 4 equals 7. If I subtract 4 from this side and 4 from this side, then I'll get 3, because 4 minus 4 is 0, and 7 minus 4 is 3, so I'll get 3 equals 3. Real world problem, the longest distance jumped on a pogo stick is 23 miles. Emilio has jumped 5 miles on a pogo stick. The equation d plus 5 equals 23 can be used to find the remaining distance, d, in miles he must jump to match the record. Solve the equation and explain what the solution means. To get d by itself, you must undo the addition by 5. Operations that undo each other are called inverse operations, or opposite operations. Subtracting 5 is the inverse operation of adding 5. So we start with writing the equation, and then we're going to subtract 5 from each side, because we want that variable d by itself. So 5 minus 5 is 0, and 23 minus 5 is 18. Then d plus 0 is d. So d equals 18. You can try to check the solution just to make sure that you have it. So you're going to substitute 18 for d. So 18 plus 5 is 23, and 23 equals 23. So the solution means that Emilio must jump 18 more miles. We're going on to page 306. When you solve an equation that involves subtraction, you can use addition to get the variable on one side of the equal sign by itself. So that's using the addition property of equality. So if we're looking at 7 minus 4 equals 3, then we're adding 4 to each side. So 7 minus 4 plus 4, so that's negative 4 plus 4, which is equal to 0. And then 3 plus 4 equals 7. 7 plus 0 equals 7. And then you just bring down that 7, so 7 equals 7. While cooking dinner, Carla pours 5/8 cup of milk from a carton. This leaves 7/8 cup of milk in the carton. Write and solve an equation to find how much milk was in the carton when Carla started cooking. So step 1 is to write an equation. Let A represent the amount of milk in cups in the carton when Carla started cooking. And then minus is telling us to subtract. Amount poured out is 5/8. Equals tells us to equal, and this leaves 7/8 left in the carton. So now we need to solve the equation. So because we dealt with subtraction with the equation, the inverse operation is addition. So writing the equation, then we're going to add 5/8 to each side. That's going to cancel out this because negative 5/8 plus 5/8 is 0. And then because we have a common denominator, we can go ahead and add these two. So 7 plus 5 is 12. And then we keep the denominator the same. So this equals 1 4/8, or 1 1/2. So there are 1 1/2 cups of milk in the carton when Carla started cooking. For your assignment, you're going to be doing numbers 8 through 14 and 16 through 18. So 8 through 14, we're doing 8 through 13, you're solving the equation. And honestly, if you show your work with solving the equation, you don't necessarily have to check your solution. I just want to see that you can solve the solution. Okay, so and then number 14, the temperature dropped 8 degrees between 6 p.m. and midnight. The temperature at midnight was 26 degrees Fahrenheit. Write and solve an equation to find the temperature at 6 p.m. Okay, again, in this case, you need to write an equation and then you need to solve the equation. Remember to show your work and to give a label. Okay, and then 16. In July, Kimberly made 2 deposits into her bank account. She made no withdrawals. At the end of July, her account balance was $120.62. Write and solve an equation to find Kimberly's balance at the beginning of July. Again, if you use your cube strategy, you do not need to do A, B, and C. You have enough space to show your work here, and then this will help you for when you're ready to write out the answer. Number 17, the equation h minus 120 equals 80 may be used to find the original height h in feet of an elevator before it descended or goes down. What was the original height of the elevator? So you're choosing A, B, C, or D, remembering to show your work. Colin adds 2 3/4 quarts of orange juice to some apple juice to make 4 1/4 quarts of fruit punch. He solves the equation A plus 2 3/4 equals 4 1/4 to find the amount A of apple juice in quarts in the punch. What is the solution of the equation? So you're telling me just what would be the number that would work out so that if you added it to 2 3/4, it would equal 4 1/4.